So what we're going to do is jump into Google Ads now, and I'm going to show you a setup of a campaign from start to finish. So today I'm going to show you how to set up a basic Google Ads campaign using the search ads. So for this example, I have set up a blank account in Google Ads. If you'd like to set up your own account, you'll need to go to Google Ads and set up an account on the platform, just as you would for any other advertising platform, and enter your billing details, etc. For this, I have set up a blank account with no billing details attached. So what we're going to do is jump into Google Ads now, and I'm going to show you a setup of a campaign from start to finish. So here we are in Google Ads, and I'm going to start off by hitting New Campaign. So first of all, Google will ask you to select what your goals are for the ads, and your selection should be dependent on what your KPIs are. So for example, if you're looking for sales, leads, website traffic, product and brand consideration, brand awareness and reach, or app promotion. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to show you leads, because that is the most relevant to Cliq Media Marketing. The next thing you will be asked is the type of campaign you would like to set up. For the purpose of this demonstration, I am going to show you how to set up search campaigns. However, there is also display, shopping, videos, and smart. Search campaigns are the text ads that you see appear above the organic search results in Google in text format. The display adverts are those adverts that you see in Square and Banner and all the other formats in images that you see around the internet. Shopping, these are the product adverts that you see at the top of Google when you search for an item. Video, these are pre-roll videos that you would see before you watch a YouTube video. And smart, these are Google's artificial intelligence learning ads where they take a lot of it out of your control a small bit, but they're automated ads that show Google, Google Maps across the web, and they take advantage of minimal hands-on effort, really. So for the purpose of this, I'm going to click search. Select the ways you'd like to reach your goal. So for us, that would be lead form submissions, but that might be different for your business. Over here on the next page, you get to name your campaign. I'm just going to name this Gen Example. We then select whether it's a search network or display network or both. For me personally, when I set up a campaign, I usually untick the display network for the search campaigns, as it usually performs quite poorly. You can then enter your location. Ireland is a bit broad for us. Usually that's what the preset is. So I am going to enter Cork City here. And your location options below include people in or who show interest in your target locations, people in or regularly in your target locations, people searching for your target locations. I usually switch this, I am switching this in this circumstance to people in or regularly in your targeted locations. People in or who showed interest in your target locations can also include people who are maybe outside of the radius that you have selected, but have searched with intent and interest in the location, which is not exactly relevant for what we do, but people who show interest in a target location, this would be quite relevant for tourist businesses, for example. You can also exclude locations, but I don't need that right now. Audiences. So you can use audiences in two ways for your search advertising. You can target them or you can observe them. For the purpose of this, I'm going to use the observation. The observation tool is great because it allows you to track an audience's performance with your ads, how they've engaged, and you can use that data to determine whether or not you would use that as a target feature in the future. Alternatively, you can use the targeting, and this would be used if you wanted to retarget. So for example, you can browse here and you can see your audiences here, how they've interacted with your business. And once you have your Google Analytics account synced and you have your conversion set up and tracking inside in Google Ads, you can use this feature. You can also target based on what people are actively researching or planning, or what their interests or habits are. The budget. You want to enter here the average that you want to spend every day. So for example, if you have €500 a month that you want to spend on Google Ads, what you want to do here is enter the average that you want to spend every day. Google will fluctuate the daily average. So for example, if your daily average is €5 a day, some days it might spend a little bit more, some days it might spend a little bit less, but its goal will intend to average out at your set amount over the month. So what do you want to focus on? Bidding is the next part of the decision. So you can bid based on conversions, clicks, and impression share, or your conversion value. Bidding on your conversions means that you are maximizing on trying to get as many conversions in as possible. Conversion value, you're aiming to get the actions with the highest value. Clicks, that is the amount of website traffic you want to get through, and impression share, that is how frequently you wish to be seen in the top ads. So for the purpose of this, I'll also show you this. There's also the manual option. So you have target CPA, target return on ad spend, maximize clicks, maximize conversions, maximize conversion value, target impressions to share, and manual CPC. So for target CPA, that is in reference to your target cost per acquisition. So if you can't spend more than €10, for example, on an acquisition, you can use target CPA and input the amount that you wish to spend. So target CPA, and if you had a target of €10, you would enter that there. Alternatively, you can use target return on ad spend. So that is how much you wish to return based on your ad spend. Maximize clicks maximizes the number of visitors to your website. Maximize conversions maximizes the amount of conversions that you get. Maximize conversion value, again, that is the to get the most value possible. And target impression share, that is how frequently and how often you will be seen in the search results for a certain keyword. And you also have the option to manually control your cost. So on the manual CPC option, you can select manual CPC, but you can also use the option to enhance CPC. So say, for example, a click was 50 cents, but Google felt that this was a highly probable person to click that will convert. So what they will do is, in that circumstance, you can give them the option to bid a little bit higher based on the goal. So say, for example, if there's a high chance of a conversion, that if that click is a little bit more, you can tell Google that is okay too. The next part of your ad setup is your Sitelink extensions, your call out extensions, and your call extensions. I'd highly recommend filling out all of these to the best of your ability to make the ads as long as possible. So these add in the extra lines that you would see underneath that your advert when you search for an advert. These really lengthen an advert, and on mobile, they have the potential to take up all of the screen real estate above the fold. So they're very, very important. Because I selected leads earlier, it's giving me the option to create a lead form extension within the advert. I'm not going to do this right now, but what that does is essentially doesn't bring people to your website. It keeps people within the advert almost, and a lead form pops up. This is great if you have a poor performing website. You can also add various extensions that can make your ad really stand out. For example, price, promotion, a message, an app, structured snippets, and location extensions. I'm just going to save and continue this for now. The next part of your campaign setup is setting up your ad groups. Ad groups are really important, but you want to have a lot of different ad groups. So for an ad group, I would recommend keeping things as small and as tidy as possible. You always want to keep relevant keywords together, and ideally, if you can do single keyword ad groups, those perform the best. So I'm going to use digital marketing agency. I'm going to pretend that our max cost per click is €1. I'm just going to use Cliq. So I'm going to use digital marketing. You can see here that I'm using different forms of brackets around the keywords. So for example, digital marketing agency +++, and you have the the commas and you have these brackets here. So what these are called is broad match, phrase match, and exact match. What you never want to do in Google AdWords is just put in digital marketing agency like this, because if these aren't included, it gives Google quite an amount of leeway in determining what should show for your ads. So for example, if you were a sound engineer and you were using the word sound engineer and you were not kind of putting any descriptors around it, then Google could take the liberty of showing you for something similar but very different. For example, someone searching to purchase a microphone, which would be completely irrelevant to you, and vice versa. So using these means slightly different things. For example, broad match, if something is a little bit broader but quite similar that you show. Phrase match, if someone searches something very similar, for example, digital marketing company or digital or just marketing agency or something very similar to that phrase, then that will show up. An exact match is for when people search digital marketing agency exactly. I include all three in an ad group as they tend to perform best in a group like this. The next thing you're going to do is create an advert for the ad group that you have just set up. So I'm just going to show you a quick setup here. You want to maximize all of the space that you can in order to maximize on it. So you have 30 keys in the first row, you have 30 in the second, 30 in the third. And what you need to do always with Google Ads is put a capital letter at the start of every word. They convert better and it's standard practice. You would see this if you search for anything, any adverts you see. So you would, Google always prefers capital letter. Your text is going to look like this. You can see it populating over here. You always want to have a call out. Obviously, you would fill these to their maximum capacity, and ideally, you would always create 3 adverts. Once this is done, Google will give you a page like this to review the information, and you can continue to your campaign. The next thing you want to do is go over to your keywords, and you will see 3 options come up: negative keywords, search terms, and your auction insights. So your search terms, your negative keywords are a vital part of your campaign. So your negative keywords are letting Google know what words you don't want to show for. So say, for example, you had a barbecue business and you sold physical barbecues for people's backyards. But another person is a restaurant that holds barbecues at the weekend. Barbecues is the keyword for both, but they're completely different to each other. For example, here, the digital marketing agency ad would likely be geared towards business owners who are looking to work with a digital marketing agency. And in this circumstance, it's not for people who are looking for jobs, for example, because if people search digital marketing agency jobs, the ad might show up. So jobs, careers, those are some of the most common negative keywords that you want to put in there. You want to make sure that you are not being shown for irrelevant ads, and your negative keywords are a great way to do that. The other thing here is that in the search terms feature here, over time that will populate with what people are actually searching that is bringing your advert up. So if your advert is showing for something irrelevant, you can select it from in here and add it to your negative keywords list. So that's a basic setup of a Google Ads search campaign. Of course, your tracking and everything would need to be set up as well. So I'm just going to show you quickly here where that can be set up. So if you go to Tools and Settings and Conversions. So over here, you can create your conversions and you can click what they are. So you can import them from Google Analytics, which is great if you want to connect your Google Analytics account. Alternatively, you can manually set them up using website conversions. And I would highly recommend that when you set this up, that you use Google Tag Manager. What Google Ads will do is give you a conversion ID and a conversion label, and you just manually input those into Google Tag Manager, and it will track the conversions for you from there. You can also test if the Google Tag Manager is triggering the conversion properly by going to the thank you page or completing a process yourself, and Google Tag Manager will let you know whether there's been any mistake in setting up that tracking. So that's how you set up a basic Google search campaign on Google Ads. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below or pop us a message here in Cliq, and thanks for listening.